All right, good to see you guys. We'll get rolling. For us, this new block begins, and another divisional game right off the bat. I think 2 out of the 4 are in that spot, but we definitely know how tough division games are, and so we're ready to go right back to it. Obviously, all week making a real emphasis both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to have obviously a huge role in this game, along with field position. That's one of the things. Carolina and their special teams done a good job. So thought the punt and punt return game is going to be a real big piece of this. But for our end, just about us owning all of our preparation and mindset and heading into it. So we're pumped to get rolling.
Yeah, Coach, with Ron Rivera's dismissal yesterday, how much of you all's work went out the window in preparing for the tendencies, and how much can it change under Coach Perry in just a few days?
Right, fair question. I think what I explained to the team, much like when you prepare and a quarterback change comes in, they've got a rock solid program, foundation, philosophy of how they do things. So much like when a new quarterback comes in, there'll be some tweaks to it, you would think, but not wholesale as it goes. So that's usually for us the best way to go about it. Will there be some new wrinkles? For sure, but wholesale changes, they have a real belief in their system. Certainly with Norv and Scott, I would think on more than one occasion they've talked football around the dinner table.
Do you have to warn or guard against the so-called proverbial unscouted look?
Well, I think going in, like you said, against anyone, though, you plan on some tweaks to that, but that's really all of it. I think it always comes down to, your communication, what you'll see, how do you go play it, and that's really what the week is for. Unscouted looks, you can't go to make up things that aren't there, but you want to make sure that, like I said, they have a real foundation there, and on Perry on the defensive side with Eric and Ron, and then, obviously with Norv and Scott on the offensive side, a real, like I said, rock solid system in place. So.
Any thoughts on Coach Ron? You all had some good battles
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah, I respect Ron quite a bit, not just from my time here and having a chance to compete against him. I texted him that, I certainly miss you this weekend competing against you. And so, but even during my time prior to Atlanta, going against his teams, I admire the toughness they played with and always were hard fought, and expect that to be the case again coming up this weekend. But yeah, definitely somebody in our profession that I, regard highly.
Coach, uncharacteristically, the Panthers have had a bad run defense this year. Opportunity to try to get back on track. Is that something you focus on?
Regardless, it's something that we need to focus on because for us not to have the run game, like we would like, that's a factor for sure. So moving forward, that's one of the emphasis in this block to make sure the run game, the play pass, all that goes with that, that's a real emphasis. And so we addressed it, over the weekend and go hit on it again hard this week, obviously, as we're heading into the game, but not as specific to them as it is like we need this part of our football in order.
And Coach, to piggyback on that
Sure.
question, just in terms of now that you've had a chance to kind of digest the Saints game, looking at blocking, if you will, not just the O-line, but has there been an emphasis on that in terms of improving what you're going to see from the run game, blocking, and that sort of thing from not just your O-line? But
yeah, we'll hit on both topics because I think they're appropriate to hit on. So from the run game for us, we've got to make sure, we're able to get, the ball to the second level. And that has to go down for us in the run game. That's fullbacks, tight ends, offensive line, wide receivers, however we go through it. And we've got, obviously the game plan that we're working in this week. And then on the pass protection side, all of it factors in, especially the play pass. And the way you come off the ball, the quarterback, running back mesh, the route depths, all of that factors in. So each day, we're going to hit on that part hard. Defensively, we're going to hit on our disguise and our communication like crazy and play with the relentless Falcon energy we need to. So that's 2 big pieces for us that all week you'll hear us talk about that as we're going. And I thought over the last block we did a better job with the ball in terms of our turnover margin, but not to the spot that we're going to go to. So to me, that's the next piece for us in this block. We were at 0 turnover margin, which meant we made improvement because we had done a poor job of it, and now we need to take another step in that direction. So those are 3 areas of emphasis for us.
Do you have any updates on Julio?
I do, and so he'll actually get some practice reps today and get and do some. So he'll be limited, but just good to have him back going into the mix. And we're going to begin our walkthrough here momentarily, and obviously all the guys will be a featured part of that. So glad to get him back into the mix.
Also, Matt Ryan, out from Vaughn's article, he's getting closer to reaching that 50,000 career passing. I think he's like 34 away. What does it mean for you as a coach to possibly be a part of that and see that from a player?
Yeah, I think those are nice for later on, but I think what when you think of Matt, like so often I come up with like toughness, and like he is always ready to deliver, and plays through injuries, played with pain, delivers a ball, all those things Matt stands for. So it doesn't surprise me that there's milestones there for a competitor of his level. And so those are ones for later on and to go. And like this week we get to celebrate Roddy White. And so that's a, Ring of Honor, or am I allowed to say that? Is that public knowledge? Okay. Oh my God, why did you announce it to everybody? But I didn't mean it. I just took it back. Everybody 10 seconds. So, but when you think about him, you think about competitor too, because now you do get to celebrate those moments. And he is, as tough as advertised. And I'd say you'd be hard pressed to find many state champion wrestlers, wide receivers, but that was what he was. And so it kind of speaks to his toughness. And, so getting back to Matt, all those milestones are great and certainly deserving, but it'd be something, discuss years from now.
And with the playoffs officially out of the picture, when it comes to guys in playing time and evaluation, how do you balance versus still trying to win games, still trying to see what guys have versus, letting the young guys, even if they're making mistakes, stay out there and kind of learn on the job?
Fair question for sure. The way you had worded it makes a lot more sense. We've had a number of young guys already, getting into the action and getting themselves going. So there doesn't need to be an added emphasis past that. But what is nice is having some of the guys who are back, who've missed some time or going. And so if we get a chance to get a guy like Lindstrom back and he's able to, be able to compete and go, that would be an example of, somebody that we're going to, get him as much time as he can based on his health. But from the other side of things, most of the other guys have gotten a good bit of work.
See from Chris Lindstrom? I know you talked about that he's coming back. I mean,
Right.
how much you need to see, and could he play?
Well, I think the two things. Mentally, he's going to be on it and sharp. So it's technique-wise and conditioning. Those are the things. And I know running and lifting, that's one condition. But, in practice, in, that type of condition, what would a workload be like him for the game? So I want to take my time and make sure, one, we're going to make the best decision for him and what's the appropriate amount based on where he's at. So I'll have a better sense after I go through a real, work week and see where he's at.
What have you seen out of Boye in the last 5 weeks? It seems like he had a stretch where he wasn't on defense as much, but then over the last few weeks, you guys have ramped up his reps.
Yeah, I think it goes along with, when you're playing well and you have to, find some opportunities for a guy that is playing well, and that was certainly the case with Foe. So he's really consistent. And, I think from a tackling standpoint, he doesn't miss many. And so the leverage is right, his tackling's on point. It kind of carried over from special teams. But, he's definitely earned more playing time. So we were going to find ways to get packages in for him or substitute, for him because of his performance. So it was more along the lines of, okay, this man's stepping up and making plays. We need to be able to, not necessarily reward that, but feature him in ways that we can continue to do that.
At this point, is he cross-trained enough to play both Will and Sam
Yeah.
to where you feel comfortable with him?
We'll do it even in the series. In the last game, he had a series at Mike and a series at Will. And so for him to go back and forth and not miss a beat, because there are some different nuances to both positions. So he has definitely done that. And his mental capacity, brain power, speed, like he doesn't miss it when he goes in. And that's a big piece of it.